Yo,
Welcome
yo.
back. Hey-oh, hey-oh.
Welcome back in time.
We are back. We are back. It feels like a minute since I've been on this show. I don't know. It seems like a couple of weeks. I've been busy as fuck.
We got
So
new properties, stuff to talk about finally.
I know, finally.
Strikes
for
are
real.
ending, getting settled.
It's crazy. And we're missing our fearless leader, Casey, right now, who is a little under the weather, or I believe, or maybe she's climbing Mount Everest. I can't remember what she said she was doing. Could be that. So we wish her the best and good luck. And how you been, Joel?
I've been great now that we've got some new content to watch. And I honestly think I've already watched Loki 3 full times for sure.
I've watched it twice. You're telling me that you didn't get your jollies didn't go off when we got season 2 of Groot?
No. I mean, I watched it, but I also watched it all in like 15 minutes. So it was like, oh, good stuff. And then it's done with it in 15 minutes. So.
All right. That was a little tease. We want more, and we got more. We got 45 minutes more, which is great. And we are going to dive into that. But first, before we dive into Loki season 2, episode 1, we heard a fun rumor. We want to talk about it. Joel, lead us away.
Yeah, so it started out as a rumor earlier this morning, but then Casey actually posted something in the group that director Matt Shakman said that when the cast for Fantastic Four will be announced once the SAG-AFTRA strike is over. So they've already kind of settled out with the writer's strike. So with the actor strike, whenever that ends, I guess, I don't know if it's like a perk, like, thanks for waiting for us. Here's some awesome news. But then there's also the rumor part is that that Marvel Studios was intentionally leaking fake actors' names that weren't in the running, or like maybe they considered them very briefly and they passed right away, but like throwing those out there.
Sneaky Marvel.
Yeah.
Dude, they're throwing us through all the loops.
Like, Mila Kunis, I feel like she had to be one of those. They were just like, yeah, tell him Mila Kunis.
Just tell him Mila might be in it. Yeah.
Let him chew that one over for a while we have no real news. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. So the writer's strike is over.
Yes.
But the actors and actresses strike is not over. Is that what you're saying?
I think it's just all actors now. I don't think actors is a word anymore.
Whoa, it isn't?
I don't think so.
Why?
I could be wrong. But
is that too?
I'm not the one to ask about that, so I don't know.
Is that too like 2023ish to like diversify like a male and a female? Like now it's all just to them. Like
I think actors is just more inclusive. It's just like all encompassing now. It's just like,
well, how do they give out like the Oscar awards for best? Like, is it female actor, not just actress? Is that must be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's female actor.
That one through.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, but anyways, the actors strike is not over.
That's the SAG-AFTRA. SAG-AFTRA. Which I have no idea what that stands for.
Me either.
I know it's a better acronym than the one they used in Team America World Police.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Dude, I have a guy that I work with a guy named Matt Blasco, and every time I asked him, have you ever seen Team America? He's like, no. So, and I was like, I don't care, because every time I see him, I just go, Matt Blasco. I just think of the Matt
Blasco. Matt Blasco.
Is Team America the best puppet movie of all time? Because I would say
yes. Yeah. Like Marionette, the puppets. Yeah.
Oh,
actually, yeah. That's definitely up there. But being John Malkovich, where they've got like this scene where he does it. Yeah,
it's such a good movie. Have you heard that John Malkovich has filmed a movie that's not going to be aired in theaters until 2118? 2118. They have it. It's just sitting in the vault. There's 3 movies out there that we'll never see in our lifetime, or 3 things that we've never see in our lifetime. One of them was like a letter that the Queen wrote to some country and told them not to open it up for like 89 years. And it just happened a couple of years ago. So it's like, I don't know, 2100 basically, that they're not allowed to open that letter. And it's in like this art museum, and it's like in this glass case and whatnot. They don't plan to open it. Number 2, I can't remember exactly what it was, but then number 3 was this John Malkovich movie called 100 Years Later, and it was I don't know, whatever it is, it's supposed to be like brought out in like 2118. So I guess it was filmed in like 2018, I guess is my guess, and it's supposed to come out 100 years after it was filmed. So kind of interesting. I don't know.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's something serious that's on the Queen's note, but what if it was just like, "Gotcha, suckers"? Yeah. The Queen's old ass just playing a joke 100 years in the future or whatever.
She like took a photo. She scanned her ass on the scanner and put that on.
Yes, just do an ink imprint of her ass.
Oh my gosh! All right. Fantastic Four. I'm down. Please give me all of the characters. I want to know who I'm like prepping ready to see. I want to know it all. I want to see it all. Do you think they released that? Is there any kind of like Comic-Con coming up or
I don't know. I mean, part of the rumors were that it's still I can't even think of their names now. Vanessa Kirby is still like the top running.
John Krasinski.
John Krasinski is a big rumor, which I think would be awesome. That they're just like, they were like, look over here, slide a hand, and then it's like, oh, it's John Krasinski. You remember him from when Wanda destroyed him? Spaghetti'd him.
I rewatched that movie not too long ago, and as much as I loved John Krasinski as Reed Richards, I was watching that just a little scene with him in it before he gets spaghettied and he's talking with the Illuminati to Doctor Strange, and man, I kind of don't want him, and I know now that I don't want him to be Reed Richards. He's gonna be it, but I there was just something about him that I just was like, you're too much. You're just. I
bet I can tell you what it was. When they did the filming, it was like everybody was separated, filming in front of green screens, so it's not like they weren't on a set. They didn't know who was supposed to be in the room with them. They didn't really know anything except for their lines. So I feel like it'd be hard to act if you don't know what you're reacting to.
Most definitely. Okay, so you're saying he could be better, should be better in like an actual movie set, like
I think for sure. I think he's a great actor, and
I mean,
when he's
great as Jim.
You don't think he was good in what's the movie where you can't make any noises with the aliens?
That one was good, but he produced it. He produced that movie, so like it's a little bit different. But no, I didn't care for his what was his like war movie? Jack Ryan. Yeah. I didn't care for those. So, but I did like that Don't Breathe, I think is what it was called, right? Or maybe that's a
super close to that. But yeah, I mean, the whole point is don't make a noise.
Oh, actually, I think it was called Quiet Place, right?
Quiet Place. Yeah. A Quiet Place Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah, Part 2 was but Part 1 was fucking awesome. The first time I saw that movie, I couldn't freaking believe. Like I went into the expectations of watching the movie Bird Box with whatever her name is, with like a ton of expectations because I had seen A Quiet Place, and that Bird Box sucked, and I was like, fuck that. But A Quiet Place was so freaking. I went into it with not a lot of expectations, and it just blew me away from beginning when the little kid turns on his fire engine truck to the very end where like the monsters are creeping around the house and shit. It's such a good movie. I thought, oh my god, I'm gonna have to watch that. That's a good Halloween movie right there.
That's a good one. Yeah,
that's a good October.
It's a good thriller. Except you have to be paying attention. It's not like a background one, right? You can't be doing anything, or else you're just gonna miss what's happening because you can't. Can't hear
You're not listening. Yeah, exactly. You're not listening.
There's nothing to hear other than whap, all of a sudden. Yeah.
But he's great as Jim from The Office, which did you hear they're rebooting that as well?
No, I don't know why that needs a reboot. I mean, it was
I don't either. And I don't think it's going to be any of the same characters. I think it's just going to be like
interesting.
I don't know what it's going to be, but I do know, and I'm pretty sure they're rebooting it, and it will be a thing in a couple of years that we will see. I don't know if I like it, but
it sounds like one of those things where anything you can make money off of, might as well reboot it and make some money off of it, even if it's a terrible movie.
Yes,
like I wish they'd stop making Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. Like they've just been going downhill since they had them in the full body suits and sent Raphael back in time.
Did you see the newest one by Seth Rogen?
I haven't yet.
Me neither. I heard it was pretty good though. Not great.
I think it's more kiddie though. I don't think it's like, it sounds like it's them all just arguing. I listened to somebody talking about it earlier on one of the Snapchats.
I do plan to take my 7-year-old to it, so that
plays she'll love it, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it as like her level of movie.
Right.
But like,
Yes. Yes.
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies from the
Yes, when we
90s,
were
those went
young,
hard.
yeah, those were fucking amazing. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. In fact, not only that, I just rewatched the old Mario movie from when we were young, and that movie was way better than I remember it being, dude. I fucking loved it this time around. Like, I
It was a little
hated it as
trippy.
a kid, but I loved it. What?
It was a little trippy. I feel like they had
It's
the
I
magic carpet ride
yeah,
on it. Yeah.
that's why I
You don't
like it.
know. Oh,
Oh,
but yeah.
we could talk
Teenage
about
Mutant
movies
Ninja
all day.
Turtles
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
had time travel in it,
Yeah.
which brings us back.
Boom, 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 to episode 1, season 2. Can you believe it? I kind of didn't think
I'm
it was ever going to come.
so glad it's here.
I didn't think it was coming. At this point, I don't think any Marvel like property is ever really going to come. Like, I just feel like it's fake news until I actually see it drop. So this was exciting to watch. Thursday, we got a 9 p.m. Drop time, no 3 a.m. or anything like that. Did you watch it at 9 p.m. as soon as it dropped?
9:01.
9:01.
I got distracted on my phone and I went, "Oh shit." I was like sitting in front of the TV like it's going to drop any second now. Yeah. Perfect.
That is great. That is great. I was too busy watching the Chicago Bears and Washington Commanders. It was a terrible game. I should have just watched Loki, but I did get to it the next day on Friday during lunch, during work, and it was so freaking good. So freaking good. I loved this episode. We're going to talk a lot about it. We're going to dive a little bit into kind of different scenes and whatnot, but just an overall scale 1 to 10. Where do you have a ranking for this episode yet? Just this one episode?
Yeah, I mean, just off the first episode, I think it's definitely, as far as the Disney Plus, I think it's in the top. I mean, Loki was already in the top in the first place, but I think this kind of trumps that first season more because it's like adding on to it,
Definitely.
But I think it's just a great start. It was funny, it was entertaining, it was interesting, and I definitely can't wait for the second episode. So
yeah, most definitely. And I agree.
I'm hooked.
Yes, we are hooked, line and sinkered. And I'm putting it at a 9.5. I thought it was so freaking good.
Oh, you wanted like a number value?
Yeah, you don't have to give me a number. That's okay. I put it at 9.5 though because it was honestly one of the top, probably 3 or 4 episodes out of any Marvel show that I have ever seen. It was just so funny. The acting in this show is out of this world. It is unbelievable between Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston. They are phenomenal. We got to see a little bit of Sylvie, but I just want to stick. I want to stick with Mobius to start. We'll get to Loki. I know he's the main thing, but man, leave it up to Owen Wilson, Mobius, to steal the screen, dude. He was so funny in every sentence and everything he did. When he was talking with OB, it's OB, yeah. It's been what, 3, 4, and OB's like 400 years. Oh,
yeah.
OB, that's a nickname I give.
And I hung out for a while. You left immediately.
Oh
yeah, I did leave immediately.
That whole scene is just great. Everything with Mobius was phenomenal. The skin, that's my name today. He writes skin, and the way he's just so pissed that his skin might get peeled off is phenomenal. Overall, did you love Mobius or what, bro?
I loved it. And that returning joke of the skin getting peeled off. Like, I watched it for the 3rd time today, and it's still funny. They say it like 4 times. And he's like, "Yeah, I mean, if I don't close the blast doors, then you'll just slowly age until you die, and your skin will get returned."
And he rolls his eyes. It's so funny, dude. I loved it. And then Tom Hiddleston too was super funny. And then super just intriguing. It was very interesting. I like that we didn't get Kang yet, but we did get to hear his voice. We got to see his statues.
Loki's reaction to him, though, he's like, he's very much scared.
Yes.
Not quite the same as when Janet was like just not telling everybody who Kang was. He was like, "You don't understand. I need to tell you."
Because he can feel it in his gut. She saw it. Yeah. She saw it when she touched his ship, but he can feel it in his gut. So, and you can tell. And it's so funny where Mobius is like, "He who remains." Is that his name?
Loki's very cocky. Yeah.
He's very cocky.
Can he back it up? And he's like, "Yes,
yes." Oh,
he absolutely can back it up. Yeah.
It was cool to hear his voice. Like, he is talking. I forget. He's talking. He's just like, "You're very persuasive.
You're
I
a
can't remember.
Marvel.
Oh, is that what it was? Yeah. Just
You're a
super.
Marvel. I'd be honored to work with you, or you've been
Who's he talking?
instrumental, something like that.
Who's he
That was
talking to?
Ravana Renslayer, because they
I
end up
knew it.
rewinding it. Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
what it
that's the
was.
reveal. Yeah, he listens to it and then he rewinds it a little bit, and then you get,
So,
it
are
was
we getting a
Ravana.
comic accurate? Are they gonna be a couple at
I
some
mean,
point in life?
yeah, I don't think it's fully comic accurate, but obviously they have a past.
They
I
have a
mean,
past.
they didn't show us any of that in the first season, so everybody
No.
was like, they have a past in the comics. We're gonna get something, right? Like, even if they're not like a couple or whatever,
Right.
maybe they team up, or I don't know. But yes, now we know that they at least knew each other
Mhm.
enough to be in the room together talking to each other,
Mhm.
and he thinks that she's a Marvel. So
So he's got googly eyes for her,
it
we've
sounds
all
like googly eyes.
yeah, he's gonna pull her pigtails next, and,
That's definitely my new line at the bar.
you are a marvel.
Girl,
Oh,
you are a marvel.
that is it, bro. Winner, chicken dinner, dude.
Love to rule the rest of our timelines together.
I'll go home with you,
Mm.
bro, if you say that to me. That's beautiful. Yeah, uh, it
What do
was
you
cool
say
to
we
see.
make like a tree and branch our timelines out of here?
Okay, you had me with the first one.
Too bad. All right, I'm going downhill.
Second one, I might be like, yeah, you go. We'll see if
Yeah.
our universes collide at some point. See if there's an incursion somewhere
Yeah.
in life. If a girl says that back to you, though, you got to keep her. You know what I mean?
Mm.
That's or a person. I should
Anything
say.
incursion. Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel
I'm
it.
excited to see more incursion stuff happening. I know we're getting away from Loki, but I'm excited because I hear that's going to be a big thing for the new Doctor Strange movie coming out.
Do you think we're gonna get any incursions in Loki though?
Loki?
Or maybe they'll like explain the whole timeline, because they did the diagram of the timelines
Mhm,
bouncing and making little sparks on the
mhm,
cartoon.
mhm.
I mean, I'm assuming that's what an incursion looks like on Miss Minute's diagram.
I
So
would think, yeah. I do to
maybe they'll
answer that
tell us
question.
stuff.
I do think we get an incursion this, or at least a description about it. But I think we might have an incursion or a solid 5-10 minute conversation about them and whatnot, and kind of try to teach, I would say, the casual Marvel fans, you know what I mean? People who aren't familiar with what an incursion is, heard it, when Doctor Strange came out, tried to figure out kind of what it was, but it's still a little out there, you know what I mean? It takes a lot to understand a lot of this stuff. Even Loki is just like, sure, and he goes back in time and he's talking to OB, and it's just like he can't even like comprehend what's happening when it comes to time slips. There's a lot to go through in this whole multiverse. So
It's a difficult subject even in reality. I mean, it's
right,
quantum physics.
right.
And I was making the joke the other day, like, what's the only thing harder than understanding quantum physics? And that's arguing with somebody who thinks that they understand quantum physics. It's like, no, because in this movie, this happens. And it's like, okay, all right. I mean, but maybe it's that way, maybe it's this way.
You
Nobody
saying
knows.
Quantum Leap is a fucking joke, or what
Yeah.
is he
You saying
saying?
Back to the Future is a bunch of bullshit?
That's what it is. That's what it is. You had a
It's
great
like,
meme
yeah,
about that, though.
who taught you all that? Why do you think time works that way? And he's like, Star Trek, Time Cop, Terminator, Time After Time, Wrinkle in Time,
Hot tub
Hot Tub
time
Time
machine.
Machine. Yeah, Hot Tub Time
Time
Machine.
machine.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Pretty
You
much
had a great
anything.
meme about this, though, about future and past and going in the past. Would you like to describe it a little bit, even though we can't really show it?
Yeah. So, like, I mean, as soon as we saw the time loop where Loki goes back in time and Mobius is still in the present,
Mm-hmm.
and Loki's doing things that are changing the future, that's like directly contradicts the Hulk's explanation of you can't change things in the past to change things in the future. And that's exactly what they did. So
So, do
I
you
just
think?
changed it to say it's Ant-Man, and he's saying, you mean that Hulk's explanation of time travel is a bunch of bullshit?
And
Yeah.
it's great. It's great on Reddit. Go look at it. It's great. So do you think that what the Hulk said is true? However, in the TVA, time and works a little differently. Do you think that there is a loophole in the TVA where going in the back can change the future, but when you're in a streamline, an actual universe streamline, a multiverse streamline, you cannot change the future by going back in time? Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, maybe, but we're growing off the people that are in these timelines. So they just, time travel just got invented, so nobody knows. Nobody's ever done time travel. So they're just
Right.
like, I think it does this. But it was just annoying the way that the Hulk says, no, it absolutely works this
It
way.
is.
All of those movies are bullshit. And then there was a whole bunch of fans that just like grasped onto that. And they're like, oh no, nothing else can be correct because the Hulk said this. Even though you've got the ancient one that says time branches off, and so time branches are a thing. Why can't time loops be a thing?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
turns out
interesting.
episode 1, time loops are a thing. So why can't all of them be possible? There's nothing that says anybody's wrong so
Right.
far.
Right.
So
Right. And
other
no
than the
one knows.
Hulk, other than the Hulk being absolute about that's what was wrong.
Yes. Yes. But he was at the point the smartest guy. They had to go off of. They had to believe him because that's all it was. And you kind of
Right.
got to sound confident in that
But
sense.
as Rocket would say, you're the smartest guy on Earth, big
On Earth.
shot.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. Speaking of Rocket, real quick, because he's on your fantasy team. Have we signed up for the new fantasy league this year?
No, but we
Is
have
that's coming up,
until
right?
the end of the month. Yeah, end of the month. It's
We have to
open
sign
right
up by
now.
then. Are we able to like say we want to be in the same league? You, me,
Oh, I
and
think that's
Casey?
all it means. We just register our group by the end of the month. We don't have to do a draft and stuff until later.
Right. So I don't need to individually register. Like we'll just we'll register as a group kind of thing.
Yeah, you want to make Casey do it?
Yeah,
Have
probably.
your
She's the
our leader
captain.
again?
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
the
she's our
fearless
captain
leader.
this year. Yeah.
I don't know
A
what we're
commissioner?
doing on this show without her right now. We're just talking. We spent the first 10 minutes talking about movies that weren't even Marvel.
Yeah, we'd probably be a little more streamlined right now, but we
We
are in
probably would be.
branched realities of if she was
Heyo.
there.
How funny was it when when Loki time slips in the elevator after Mobius was like, that doesn't look that bad. And he comes back, he's like, good, because that's freaking awful. And
Yeah, you
Hiddleston's
said it.
like, I thought you said it didn't look that bad. And it's like, it looks like you're being born and dying at the same time, but you don't know which one it is. And they look over, and this poor girl is in the
It
right
was
of the
terrifying, right?
elevator. It was
Or what
terrible.
did you think about it? She's just like deer in headlights.
Oh my
That was
god,
great.
that was great. That was one of my favorite moments of this. Also, we're just skipping around right now because we're in the multiverse and we can do whatever we want. Let's talk about the ending real quick. The the almost very ending.
Okay.
He gets pruned in the
Yeah,
back while
from
he's
behind.
looking at Sylvie. Who pruned him? Who do you think
That's a
it was?
good question.
Who do you
So
think it was?
I think there's two most likely answers.
Okay.
Is either Loki proving himself. I think that's number one.
Oh,
And
that's
then
good.
the other one is Mobius pruning him.
Oh, well, I was
So
thinking like B-15 this whole time, honestly.
no, because they're doing. I've watched a lot of Doctor Who, which does the time travel shit, and
Mhm.
that's what this is going to be. It's going to do a reveal in like episode 3 that somebody was actually there to make it happen, which makes a loop. Otherwise, the things wouldn't have
Mm.
happened. So
Casey's
it's
going to
all
miss out on this
fair.
Harry Potter reference here, but that's very similar to something that happens in one of the Harry Potter movies. I do not know which one, but where like they go back in
Prisoner of
time.
Azkaban
Is
and
it? And
Buckbeak.
she
Yeah,
throws like the rock
throwing
at
rock.
him and stuff and all that. And they hear it's very similar to that. At least that's what it's reminding me of. So, like to
Yep.
anyone who doesn't get what he's saying, if you've seen Prisoner of Azkaban, that's kind of what we're referring to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so what I'm thinking is all we saw at the very end, Loki comes through time and you just say, he says, we need to find Sylvie. That's it.
Mhm.
But what he probably says after that is, I pruned myself. So I need to be wherever Sylvie just was. I need to find out where she was so I can prune myself. Or Mobius needs to be in that position to be able to prune him so that they can both survive. Because if he didn't prune Loki, then they wouldn't have made it through the gate.
Mhm.
Right?
Exactly. And
Mobius
it
wouldn't have
was,
ran
man,
fast
was
enough to
it
make
was
it in.
looking dire for our man Mobius coming trying to get back through that gate. And all I could think was obviously you knew they weren't gonna like die per se, but I did have a small feeling in that first viewing that if they fucking kill Mobius and then bring him back in
Yeah.
episode 2, I'm a flip. Like if we're gonna just have another secret invasion ending type to every episode, I'm gonna freak out. But they didn't. It was great. He comes flying back and he didn't die. So
I mean, that would have been interesting, but I'm glad they didn't do that because then they'd have to go back and you'd be dealing with only Mobius in the past because he's dead now in the present. So you'd only be able to talk to that one. And then they'd
You gotta like
probably at
catch
the
him
very
up.
end save his life. And he'd be like, oh, well, saw that coming the entire season.
Yes, exactly. So I'm glad they just kind of did not do that. I didn't need it. I didn't want it. Let's talk a little bit more about OB. What is his name? I can't remember it right now.
Our Ouroboros.
Ouroboros.
Ouroboros. That's better.
Ouroboros.
Ouroboros.
Yeah.
I was trying to pronounce it like an whatever a Boris would be.
Bora.
Yeah.
Yes.
Boris. Yeah.
Ouroboros. He's very funny. I liked the actor. I liked the character.
Did you like his early stuff? The actor's early stuff?
I don't know if I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we talked about before. That's Short Round from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Oh, I remember we talked about that.
Whatever his name is in the Goonies.
In the
He's like
Goonies.
he has all the inventions. I said booby trap.
I did like his earlier stuff, I guess.
But he's a child actor, child actor. But he hasn't really been anything other than Everywhere, Everything, All at Once. He was in that, and that won a shitload of awards.
Sounds familiar, honestly, but I don't really know.
You got to go watch that. That's another like multiverse time jumping thing. Yeah.
Oh, so we just get that guy in for any of the time jumping stuff. Okay, I can see.
Yeah.
I liked him.
He did it in this one, so yeah.
I liked his character. I thought he brought some comedic relief, some intensity when he at the very end when he has to close the door and he's like, Mobius, you've got 30 seconds, and then he waits and he's like, Mobius, we're closing the door, and as soon as he does, he says he's not going to make it. He himself added some drama to that last scene outside of what was actually happening, like with the way he was saying his lines. It was very interesting, had you on the edge of your seat, rather than just some shitty ending to an episode where everyone's going to survive. He made you really think that no one was going to survive. So I really liked him in that ending, but I again liked his comedic relief. I liked the way that he was like, no, yes, actually, I do have
right here.
Yeah, right here. And he's like, that's impossible. That can't happen. He's like, right, but you just saw it. He's like, you saw me time. Like,
I'm having trouble reconciling that.
Yeah, I'm reconciling this.
That's another good favorite quote.
Yeah, it is.
Somebody tells me something that upsets me, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I'm having trouble reconciling that. Yeah.
Yes, great.
Your Saints lost today. Yeah, and I'm having trouble reconciling that.
They did not lose on Sunday, did
they?
They
didn't.
Baby. They whooped some ass. Thank God. I was sitting there on my fantasy football team with like 20 minutes to go and realized my defense was on a bye. Real quick football story, and was like, crap, I need a defense. The Saints, they play New England. Sure, I'll take them. 40 points, dude. They killed it.
What a choice.
Yeah.
Considering last week they didn't look very good.
I know. That's why I was real risky to take them, but I was like, I don't trust New England. And then the Lions.
That's probably why they were available.
Yeah, it's exactly why, because they were so bad the week before, the team dropped them. And I was like, well, shit, okay, I'll take a chance on them. It worked out. Saints win, Lions win.
If they play like that for the rest of the season, we're not going to lose a game playing like that.
They shouldn't have. They've only got 2 losses. Okay, so they lost against Green Bay, and they shouldn't have. That's because Carr got injured and went to the hospital. Without that happening, they would have won. And I can't remember their other loss.
Last week, yeah, but the defense also didn't show up for the second half.
No, but it's just
Carr was playing until they were up by
the third quarter, 17-0.
Oh, now we're turning into football though. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, we need to stop that.
Go Saints.
Yep. Go Lions. One pride. So okay, what do you want to talk about? We've talked a lot of stuff. We've jumped back and forth and all of this. Joel, do you have anything on your mind that you wanted to get rid of off of your mind? Did you want to discuss? Did you want to debate? Do you just want to vent? What do you have to say about episode 1?
I feel very vindicated after seeing they literally made a time loom. And when I try to describe how the sacred timeline was actually multiple timelines, a bunch of people shat on that online on Reddit. And I was like, it makes sense. They're just all very close to each other. So they pruned Alligator Loki and all that. And if you haven't seen it, maybe we put that up on our YouTube or whatever, put a link to it. But yeah, time is apparently a circle. Bunch of timelines weave together. Exactly what we just saw in episode 1. And the other thing was a bunch of people on Reddit. I like to call them armchair quantum physicists because they're just like, apparently they're a pro, even though they've never studied quantum physics other
They
than
watched the
watching a
Big
shitload
Bang
of
Theory.
movies. Yeah. But they were like, no, time is not a loop. The Hulk says blah, blah, blah. And yeah, episode 1, that's the first thing they did was shit on it. And they even like, when he's doing the time, when Loki's doing the time looping, Obi's like, but you just said that didn't happen. He's like, yeah. And then he's like, he tells him something. I'm going to tell you this, and in the future, you're going to memorize this. He's like, oh, yeah, that makes perfect sense. There's no reason to doubt that. And it's like definitely a wink at the camera, like, dude, you're overthinking it. Y'all stop thinking it so hard. It's fine. Yeah.
We are not. Marvel is not supposed to be like down to the T science either. It just isn't. Like, take it for what it is, man. It's a great fucking saga. It's a great universe, movieverse. It's the
Everything's
movieverse.
possible. They're going to try and make it scientifically accurate sometimes, and sometimes it's just going to be ridiculous and not make it, like Ant-Man shrinking and getting bigger, but still being able to lift a tank on his keychain. Yeah, whatever. Sure.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Popcorn tastes good. Yeah.
Popcorn doesn't. You know what my sister just told me she did? She rented a movie, rented a movie for home, right? Went to the movie theater, bought popcorn, and came home and watched the movie at home with that popcorn. She didn't buy a ticket. She just walked into the AMC, walked up to the concession stand, bought a large popcorn, put all her favorite butter and seasonings on it and all that, and then just walked out of the movie theater, buckled in the popcorn, drove 3 minutes home, and turned on Barbie.
An expensive way to get popcorn.
It's kind of what I thought, but she was
you can make it in your microwave. You know that, right?
Yeah. But does microwavable popcorn taste the same as movie popcorn? I don't think
it tastes about $8 cheaper.
It does,
especially if you're like burning fuel to get there.
It does taste about $8.
Like a bougie. That's a very bougie way.
Pretty bougie. I would never do it, but my sister was like, all about it, and she's like, "I'm doing it again." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, I don't know about popcorn. I mean, sushi. Like, you can't make your own sushi at home, but I definitely would drive 30 minutes to go get good sushi to bring home to eat.
Yeah, for sure.
Popcorn.
Just popcorn. Not a slushy. Not a. I don't know. Nothing. Just.
Although the theater that we have in Key West has that flaming hot Cheeto popcorn. Has the flaming hot or the regular Cheeto dust popcorn,
dude. And flaming hot popcorn.
They're totally worth whatever $6 for even the small one. It's
Do you throw chocolate into your?
Like,
do you put chocolate into your popcorn or no?
No, we've talked about this. I don't.
Oh, have we?
That's a good idea. I think that's kind of gross.
But it's great, dude. Put junior mints in it. It's minty.
Even with the cheesy popcorn, though. Like I could maybe see like a regular popcorn with chocolate being all melty.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I put white cheddar on my popcorn and then the junior mints on it for sure. But I wouldn't recommend that to everyone. I would just say do a regular popcorn with butter and then.
So I would call that Christmas popcorn. Like there's regular popcorn all year round, and then you have like the different flavors of popcorn during Christmas.
Dude, I love the peppermint bar with the popcorn. Oh yeah, dude. Oh, I'm all about it. You know what though? Have you ever watched the movie Whiplash with J.K. Simmons in it?
No. Remind me what the storyline is. I probably have. But...
Oh no, it's the You ever seen the movie War Dogs?
Yep.
With Jonah Hill and that other dude?
Sell guns. Yep.
Yeah. So the other dude, not Jonah Hill, but the other dude is a drummer and wants to be in the top.
Oh no, I haven't seen that yet, but I've been wanting to watch it.
It's the best movie you've never seen. It's on Hulu. Go watch it fucking tonight. If you don't have Hulu, call me. I'll get you the subscription. We have to watch Whiplash, and then I'll talk about what I want to talk about. In that.
Yeah, it's the guy from Ready Player One, right? The main character from Ready Player One.
Never saw. Don't know. Okay. But he's in a lot of stuff.
Whiplash is probably better than Ready Player One was anyway.
So. Whiplash is one of the best movies of all time. Not Marvel, though. What is Marvel is Loki, and we keep getting off of it.
He played the other Mr. Fantastic. The same actor you're talking about. Okay.
Yep.
See, now we're back. Now we're back
Yep.
to Marvel.
Way to
Boom.
bring that back, bro.
Yeah.
Way to bring that back. Wow,
back.
that was impressive. Was he was the worst Reed Richards, right? So far?
Yeah, well, yeah, the movie wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Movie was probably the worst. They
Yeah,
go to
he
the
wasn't
weird
that good as a Reed
dimension.
Richards, honestly, either, though. It's not what I want. Not who I want.
Yeah. Well, we're getting an
But
older
Loki,
Reed Richards anyway, so.
yeah. Loki was what I wanted. It was freaking phenomenal. Post-credit scene, Joel, anything to talk about?
Yeah, so we see Sylvie in, was it Broxton, Oklahoma?
Oh, yeah.
And it specifically says a branch timeline
Mhm.
in
1982?
1982.
I
Yeah.
think so.
And Broxton, Oklahoma was a site in the comics of where they moved, like after Ragnarok, they moved. Why am I
Asgard?
missing Asgard? That's where
Mhm.
they put New Asgard.
Is that
So
right? I didn't know that.
yeah, so maybe that's a thing. But another note was Sylvie right before that last episode where she's like pushing through the
Mhm.
elevator.
Mhm.
She's got those bangs cut
Mhm.
across, so that's Sylvie from after she goes and spends some time living her life or whatever. It's definitely not the one with the highlights in the front with the longer hair.
Right, the one we just saw kill
Right.
King, kill who he
So
who
that's
remains.
why so she's definitely in the future a bit. And we know
Hmm.
because we saw skin question mark written on the wall, written on the computer that
Yep.
it's in the future. We don't know how
Mhm.
far.
Mhm.
So that's why I think we're going to get like 3 or
Yeah.
4 episodes and then they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, remember back when Loki got pruned? This is what happened from the other point of view." Yeah.
That'll be fun. I like that. I thought it was pretty funny in that post credit scene. She's like, what can you, or, what do you have?" And he's like, "I don't know, stuff to eat." I can't remember in layman's terms, but whatever. She's like, "No, what is it? No
No
rats, pork,
possums, no rats, yeah. I want,
nothing with
something
the
that was
face."
alive, but I
Yeah.
don't want it to have a face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty fun. She's like, "I'll have everything." And
Yeah,
the
she when she looks around and just everybody's, like, just joking around and having a
yeah.
good time, and she's never gotten to have that. She's never been
Isn't it
able to
weird though that
chill.
no one noticed this girl in 1982 walking in with this like super like
I
advanced
thought about that. They're probably
spacesuit?
like, "Look at this weird biker chick." Um,
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
it's the '80s, so it's
The
not like
80s.
she's going back to the '50s and all out
And
war.
the 80s was pretty crazy in the way
Right.
they dressed and the hair they wore and the stuff that they did.
Yeah.
So a lot of
Some of those
cocaine.
people some of those people in that McDonald's were laughing because they were on drugs and eating food.
Yes. Yes.
Spoiler alert,
Yes.
people did drugs in the '80s.
Spoiler alert, they still do.
Adults did drugs in the
Yeah,
'80s.
yeah, 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 yeah. Only adults.
Children didn't do drugs in the '80s.
Never, 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 never.
But they definitely let their kids go play in the play places. And
Dude, there's a McDonald's next to my house that has a play place, and it's the first one I've seen in like 10, 15 years. And I'm gonna take my kid to go to that McDonald's and eat some lunch just so she can go play on that play place because it's awesome. We had the time,
yeah,
I had the time of my life playing in that shit. In the freaking ball pit, and the bridge that was barely all the germs you collected. Oh, it's great time,
yeah,
dude. I
yeah.
fucking
Just
love
make sure you shower when you get home. Yeah,
it. Yeah,
shower
yeah.
immediately when you get home. But yeah,
Shower immediately. Yeah, yeah,
dude,
yeah.
we
We'll
had.
have a
Did y'all have like a play zone or whatever? It's like an upscale Chuck E. Cheese's where the whole place is a big playground.
I don't think so. I don't
The
think so.
closest thing to it that they probably have now is those like jumping facilities where
Oh
like
yeah.
everything's padded and there's
Mhm,
trampolines on the floor, which look
mhm.
awesome, by the way. I'm really
I've been
jealous
to
that I didn't
one. It
have
is
that.
very great. It is very great. It is very great.
So
Except
jealous.
my ACL's blown out, so I can't really do jumping anymore. So I didn't have that much
Mm,
fun. But it was really fun for the kids and whatnot. Don't tear your ACL, kids. Don't do it.
yeah. That's why
It's not my
stretching is important.
stretching is
Stretching
important.
and never skip leg day.
I never skip
There
leg
you
day.
go.
Or just don't have flat feet like me, where your knees are bent in and they just tear every fucking time. I tore my ACL, same ACL 2 times. One in basketball, one in volleyball. It
I mean,
sucks,
once you
bro.
pop it twice,
Once you pop, you just don't stop, man.
they
Pringles
can't give
said
you.
it best.
You don't get a
I'm
new
telling
one,
you.
do you? They're not like stealing it from a pig and giving it to you.
I hope they can someday. First time I had them put something in, they like surgically repaired my knee, and then a year and a half later, I tore it again, and I was like, all right, well, that's just gone now. I don't need an ACL. I don't need one.
So now you walk with a limp.
Now I'll walk with a pimp limp. You know what I mean? What am I supposed to do? Hey, come on. Yeah, we've got some Johnsons. All right. What's your favorite Dave Chappelle skit? Oh wait, no, wrong podcast.
I do like that one.
Okay, so what's your favorite skit from Chappelle? Before we
I
wrap
don't know
this
if I'm
show
allowed
up.
to say it anymore because it was back when there was Chappelle Show. You know, I don't want to try and get us canceled here, but
Fuck it. Is it one
one
person
that was
listening?
definitely okay is when they make fun of that Mitsubishi commercial and the white girl just dancing, power locking it, and he's just like, "Bitch, what are you doing?" He kicks her out the car, drives off. She's just sitting there dancing. Yeah.
That whole show is so freaking great, dude. Yeah. That show is amazing.
Charlie Murphy, the true
Charlie
Hollywood
Murphy's
stories.
great.
Charlie Murphy.
The racial draft is the funniest thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life. The Wayne Brady skit is great. All of them. It's such a good show. Anyways, I'm just getting off topic. I wanted to purposely do that. Let's get it back. We have 1 minute to go. So before we finish this off, do you have any last words on Loki season 2, episode
1? I'm just very excited to see what the rest is going on. Like I don't know. I just hope that it can keep riding that wave of the first episode. Right.
Yeah,
like hopefully it doesn't peak in the first and
Moon Knight style, in my opinion. Don't give me a Moon Knight. Don't give me the badass episode 1 and then just start falling off the cliff. Give me.
I'm okay if they're not all 100% like this one, but
yeah,
definitely stick to the landing. We need the ending to stick. That's what they've been lacking.
I think it's cool that this show was the first Marvel series to not have any reshoots. Like that's super interesting.
That's right. You said that. Yeah.
It's very interesting. Yeah. It was just so good the first time. They were like, honestly, it was probably because of all the strikes and all that, and they already had this like coming out, so they couldn't do any last minute rewrites, and they were just like, "Fuck it, we're gonna have it what it is." But
stop fucking with stuff in the post. You know?
Thank you. Yeah. Yes. If you're a fantasy football player, one thing you do is never tinker with your team an hour before the game start. Just trust your gut and what you set out there. And that's what Marvel needs to do. Once they start doing all these reshoots, I think we started to see a lot of things go downhill.
A lot of people
now that I think about it,
people's shoulders and saying, "No, why don't you change this?" You know,
yeah,
they've been working on it for months or whatever.
There that rumor too that Matt Murdock is not going to be Daredevil in Born Again for most of it.
Oh, that was the other rumor. He's just going to be the lawyer version of Matt Murdock.
He's going to be Matt Murdock. He's not going to be Daredevil.
Right. But I really hope it's like they're jumping back to Sokovia Accords, and this is like during the Sokovia Accords where he's like, okay, the people legally don't want us to do this, so I'm going to take a step back, hang up the suit for a bit, and we'll get to see.
Did you see the dude who plays Punisher has now been listed 3rd on the cast list, meaning he might have a bigger role?
And that's the other part, because I feel like he's going to be like, okay, I respect the public's opinion. I'm going to hang up the suit. Whereas Frank Castle is going to be like, fuck those guys. They're still criminals. They're not taking a day off. So I'm going to go bust some heads.
I love that. And I hope so. I'm very excited for that. That's what we're going to end our show on. Follow us on Twitter. It's under me. Follow us on Reddit. That's under Joel. We have a YouTube. Just look up Marvel Friends After Work. We're everywhere. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on iHeart. Make sure you follow. I'm dying. Subscribe and whatever else you're supposed to do. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you hopefully Friday-ish to talk about episode 2.
Yeah. Bye. See you in the future or the past or the present.
Dun, dun, dun.